the fuck is your problem? तुझे चाहिए क्या यार?
तुम जैसों से अपना इस्लाम वापस चाहिए।
So, just a few days back, I revisited Faraaz, and her performance left me stunned again. Juhi Babbar Soni really outshone herself in that movie, and I think it's such a pleasure to have her on Filme Shilmy. So, a warm welcome to you, Juhi ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anuj. Thank you so much for having me here.
Right. So, look, I mean, this film is your comeback after a long hiatus.
Yeah.
So, firstly, what kept you busy during that time, and what helped? What made you zero in on this project in particular?
Okay. So why I was away, there are two reasons which are connected. One, that I did not get good work after my first film. I was getting work which I thought I should not associate myself with. I just did not see myself doing those roles. That's number one. And when I was going through that, it's of course not a very good feeling for any actor who's just made a debut and the film hasn't done well, and then you're not getting the kind of roles that you want to do. So I said, okay, let me just focus on theater and let me just concentrate on theater. And that is what I did. And in the meanwhile, I got married and I had a baby, my son, Iman, who's now 10.
Wow.
And yes, so I thought that, okay, now this is the best that could have happened to me and at the right time. So my focus, my attention, my time was completely now dedicated and focused towards my son. That being said, if I had got some really good offer, a really good role, maybe I would have considered or thought about it. But this is also a fact that I did not get good work.
Oh, right. I mean, it's quite scary to think that, because obviously, the general view is that when you are someone who comes from a very prestigious filmy lineage or an acting or artistry background, you would expect the world to be at your feet. You'd expect opportunities to basically be flying left, right, and center. But I think your story is quite contrary to that view. So I guess for you, mentally and emotionally, how tough has it been? Because it must have affected your self-esteem at some point. So how did you manage to stay afloat during that time?
I'll be lying if I say that I was not affected. I was definitely affected, as any young girl, boy would have been. And we all have our dreams, hopes with this, with with our launch venture, whatever that could be. It could be a business, it could be a movie, it could be whatever one is involved in. And when that falls flat, and then after that you get the feeling of rejection by the world, uh, it can really be very demoralizing, breaking for your confidence. And I definitely went through that phase. But God was very kind to me, really. When I look back and I think that how did I go through that? How did I survive through that? If you ask me, I really do not have a answer or a mantra to give out here. And I'm not going to lie that, oh, I did this and I did that, and this was my secret mantra. No, I think I just went with the flow, and things fell in place. I had theater. I shifted my entire creative focus to theater. I was doing a lot of work in the field of children theater. So I was doing a lot of workshops there, interacting with children, and so that again. And meanwhile, there was a lot of television offer, a lot of TV offer that came my way for
Hmm.
TV serials, and all good roles and all main roles. But um, I mean, holding TV on a very high esteem, definitely. But television does take a lot of time out of an actor.
Yeah.
If you're doing the daily show, and if you're playing the main lead in daily show, you're shooting 25 days in a month minimum, you know, and you're shooting, in from 8 or 7 in the morning till 8, 9, 10 in the night. And mostly these studios are in the outskirts of the city. So you're practically out of your house for 12 hours.
Hmm.
And Anu was like, you really want to do it? I will never stop you, because it's important as a creative person for you. If you feel for your journey you need to take this up, you must. But I know that for you, home, family, child is, I know what that means. So you got to take your own decisions, Juhi. And I'm really thankful that I had that support from him, that he never forced me that, oh, you need to work too, to support the family or whatever. Never, never, never. He always gave me that prerogative that you have the choice. You are the lady of the house and you can choose to stay home
Mhm.
and spend time with the baby and the family. And I did that. I had this privilege in my father's house, and I'm fortunate I have this privilege in this home where I'm married to my husband. So, and when you said coming from a background and, from a family, I won't use the forbidden word here. But अनुज, ये कहना आसान होता है
जी.
मगर I'm not see, I don't mean to one has to be so politically correct these days, but I know the kind of pressure fraternity children go through. I understand it because there's this constant comparison, firstly, with your parents' success. Then this constant, you know, targeting you that, well, oh, you're the privileged one, oh, you got so much. I agree. I definitely agree with the privilege that we probably are entitled to the moment we are born. But our struggle is our own too.
Yeah.
If my film has flopped on the box office, I cannot go to each one there and say that, hello, listen, my film has flopped, but I'm actually a good actor, and probably you can give me another chance and maybe a little more to prove myself, please. Nobody's there. Nobody's going to listen to me, right?
Mm.
So I had to wait, and had to wait for a Faraaz to happen to me after so many years. Well, some children from the fraternity, I would say, are fortunate who probably did not do well in their first films or second, whatever, initial films, but they still kept getting work. Maybe there was some spark, maybe there was luck, which was not on my side. So I cannot here defy or challenge or be envious of somebody else's luck or of what was written in their story. This is my story. God wanted me to have a film that my father made for me, which doesn't happen in this industry. Actors, heroes don't make films for their daughters. They make films for their sons.
Right.
My father is the only actor hero who made a film for his daughter.
Wow. It's pretty
So
amazing.
yes. So whenever we do write history of so-called Bollywood, I think this should be mentioned that the only actor who made a film for his daughter is Raj Babbar.
Wow. Wow. It's
Did
incredible.
you know that? You did, right?
I didn't literally. I was trying to look at your filmography and I was like, which one was it?
I've just done one Hindi film which is called Kaash Aap Hamare Hote. I did
Yes.
another small film in between. And उसके बाद कुछ 2-3 फिल्में मेरे नाम के आगे लिखी हैं जो मैंने नहीं की हैं.
Oh.
I have just done a film called Kaash Aap Hamare Hote, which was produced by my
Sonu
father
Nigam. Hmm.
with Sonu Nigam ji. I did a small film called Uns because there were some really good actors in it when it started off, and then it fizzled out. But then by then I was already in the film. So obviously, as a commitment, I did that film. And I've done one Punjabi film, which was a huge success. It was called Yaranal Bahara
The
with
Jimmy
Jimmy Share.
Shamgil.
So
Yeah.
these are the only 3 films that I've done. Everything else that you read is rubbish. I don't know from where they've got my name to it. I keep reading some weird names. I don't even want to take them because I don't want again कि मेरे मुंह से वो नाम निकले. वो मैंने नहीं की हैं भाई फिल्में. मैंने यही 3 फिल्में की हैं. And after that, many years के बाद, I did Ayari with
Yes.
Neeraj Pandey sir, in which I did a small role. I played Manoj's wife. That was in 2007.
18. Yeah, it released in 2018.
18 की रिलीज है. मैंने 17 में शूट की. और अब फराज. तो मैंने इतना ही काम किया है स्क्रीन पर.
Wow. When you put it that way, I mean, when you spell it out like that, my God, it kind of does go to show a lot. But I think, look, Faraz is very special because I think also not just have you displayed that talent before, or had the I think even your looks as well. I mean, you look stunning, can I just say as well? I was looking at some of your old
Manoj,
pictures and you look
that's so
really
kind of
beautiful.
you. You thought I was looking stunning, looking crying, and looking. Oh my God, I had no makeup. Rather, I had makeup which made my under eyes darker and gave me sweat, and so there was nothing. It's so kind of you.
Right.
Thank you.
No, and I think also it's a very mature role. I think what your character plays, I think for any mother from any country, I think, or any religion will definitely be able to, you know, sort of, sort of connect with that role. And I think that's something which I found very special. For you as a mom, because obviously you have a 10-year-old son, how tough was it for you to introspect your life as a mother through the character of Faraz's mom?
Oh, so definitely, motherhood has no religion, has no nationality. Uh, I think I know any in any language, if Faraz is watched, it will just I know it will touch that right chord. It would, and it will not just touch a chord or have this relatability with mothers. It's just emotion, right? It's that parent emotion and that child emotion. So that's how I think everybody is connecting with Simin's role. Uh, I really did not, to be honest, even once. It was not any sort of a role preparation that I put myself in that spot, or no, I didn't. I didn't have to think that, oh, I am a mother or my son. No, I really, by God's grace, I really did not have to. What actually helped me, I'm blessed that I got the opportunity to have a one-to-one video call with the lady herself, Simin Rahman.
Wow.
I'm very thankful to Hansal sir that he arranged this. And I spoke to her, Anuj. And as a person and as an artist, I'm very emotional. अगर आप भी मुझे इस वक्त अपनी कोई जरा सी भी कोई ऐसी कोई गम कोई दुख की बात बताएंगे, मेरे आंखों में आंसू आ जाएंगे, मैं ऐसी हूँ.
Hmm.
But here is this lady in front of me who just narrated her son's story to me with no expression, with no moist eyes. I have goosebumps even right now as I say this to you. And I controlled myself. I said, no, Juhi, look at this lady's strength. You cannot make a fool out of yourself by crying right now while she's talking about her son's bravery, the courage, what her son was, or what the emotion or the what what she feels about her son, and how she's committed to the cause for what he lived and died for. And I just sat there in front of her listening to her, and I think that moment of strength is what I could carry forward, and I could live throughout the film.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really think that phone call or my interaction with her now and then on WhatsApp, I think that is what made me what I was on screen. I was her.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, so, how do you deal with pain and grief, Juhi ma'am? I know we sort of touched upon how you dealt with fame and, work not coming your way, but when it comes to pain and grief, I mean, that's a different monster altogether.
So I've had my share of lows in life, professionally, emotionally. uh, मेरा एक मानना है, अनुज, और वो वक्त के साथ ना उसमें मेरा यकीन बढ़ता गया है, और वो ये है कि अगर अगर ऊपर वाले ने आपके सामने वो चीज लाई है ना, तो इसका मतलब आप उसे झेल सकते हो. अगर आपके हिस्से आई है, so if it is in your destiny, if it is now in front of you, if you're facing it, that means you can live through it. right? If I look at it cinematically, अगर आपके डायरेक्टर ने अगर ये स्क्रीन प्ले आपके लिए है और आपका डायरेक्टर ने आपके कैरेक्टर में ये रखा है, तो बॉस आपको परफॉर्म करना पड़ेगा. So I have dealt with, I think, everything in life like that. That अगर है, पड़ी है मेरे पे, ठीक है, मुसीबत है या गम है, मगर आया है मेरे हिस्से, तो हो जाएगा और हो जाता है.
Right. And do you think, again, like maturity, do you think that this is also your maturity speaking? Because obviously you're not the same Juhi, I'm sure, that began with Kash Aap Humare Hote, right? Like, obviously things have changed in your life. You're a mom now, like I said, you're married. There's so many different
Yes,
responsibilities.
a lot has changed. A lot has changed. In fact, I would really say this, that a lot has changed in me after I gave birth to my son. Like I also had a very bad temper, like really, really bad. Right. I have my colleagues, by the way, around, and they just gave me that look, who've been working with me for almost like 10 years. And like, and they can vouch for it as well. I had a horrible temper. I could, like, at rehearsals and stuff, I could pick up things and throw at people. I used to lose it so bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Iman's entry in my life has taught me so much, from patience to being a giver, to just wait till things can be better, and hope.
Hmm.
you know so it's motherhood and I would say last 10-12 years in my life have really taught me. I don't like to sound very cliche, but yes, but taught me to be more positive,
Mhm.
and to look at life in a way that there's nothing that I cannot handle.
Yes. And I think when you are, because you have that responsibility as well of another life as well. And I think that also really adds to that aspect as well. But Juhi, I think we're in this phase where I think the sky is limit now for actors, and especially actors like yourself, for example, who of course have been in this industry for some time, even though they didn't get the recognition that they perhaps wanted or deserved, but now they're getting that opportunity to shine. And I
I
think Faraaz is an example of that.
I hope so. I have been seeing the Twitter last 2 days, and I there are moments where I just get lost. I just read a tweet. It's there. You can go up and have a look. There was a tweet by somebody that said, Faraz is this, the film is this, and Juhi Babbar, can somebody please go and crack a 10-film deal with her? And, and I'm like, really?
I mean, I do agree with them though. So
That's very sweet of you, Anuj. But it's very interesting. When I look back and I'm like, wow. And they're like, okay. I mean, I have friends, I have family, I have people saying that, oh, what, this is going to be a turning point. I said, you know what? I just hope I get noticed. Because last time I went so unnoticed. People didn't even care that I existed. I just hope, and I'm just so grateful that at least I'm being considered talented. My work has been appreciated, and I just hope that I get some recognition and I get noticed. That's and I'm not looking at, of course, ऊपर वाले ने दे दिया तो सिर आंखों पर वाकई में जब आप एक एक ऐसा साइट देख चुके हैं जहां आपने इतना ज्यादा आपको कमतर महसूस करवाया गया हो, तो आप इन सब चीजों में उड़ते नहीं हो. एटलीस्ट आई डोंट. आई मीन,
हाँ, हाँ, एग्जैक्टली आपने वो जब आपने फेलियर या नाकाम कामयाबी को नजदीकी नजरों से देखा है, तब आपको ये एहसास होता है कि हाँ, ये जो ख्वाब होते हैं, जो उड़ने की चाह है, हम जमीन पर ही बैठे रहे, ये बेटर होता है. मैं ये बात जानता हूँ बिकॉज हम सब ने एक एक हद तक फेलियर को देखा है करीबी नजरों से. वी हैव सीन इट. We've observed it as well. But I think when it comes to the roles, which I was talking to you about, I mean, surely there must be something which has really caught your attention, or maybe ambitions that you've had as an actor or an artist of a sort of shade you would like to explore. I mean, if you could maybe perhaps give a reference or something you saw recently which really impressed you, perhaps.
wow, I would want to do so much work, Anuj. All these years मैंने काम नहीं किया है, तो कितना काम है जो मैं करना चाहती हूँ. and I really hope कि मुझे अब अच्छे roles मिले. You know, I've had such wonderful people come up to me and compliment me. I mean, such great filmmakers, you know, who have walked out of, you know, a preview show of Faraaz and just come and held me and like, where have you been? And what have you been doing all these years? And I'm like, I've been sitting at home.
Oh.
You know? So it's amazing, right? When you hear it from a Ketan Mehta, when you hear it from a Mahesh Bhatt. Oh my God. You know, Mahesh uncle was, he called me and he said, can I speak to your parents right away? I'm like, yes, they don't live with me. I live in a different house. Let me just connect. You know, I called my father and I said, Papa, Mahesh uncle wants to talk. Kaun? I said, Mahesh Bhatt. Acha. I said, he wants to talk to mom also. He's like, ठीक है. So then I called uncle. I did a conference. You know, the way he was praising me. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे किसी तीसरे की बात हो रही है. मेरी तो, because I was just feeling so nice कि कितनी अच्छी बातें कर रही हैं किसी के बारे में. मेरे बारे में नहीं हो रही है, you know.
Gee.
There are amazing roles there, यार. I would, and uh, एक फिल्म थी अनुज जो मैं बहुत 2019 में कर रही थी एक्चुअली.
Acha. Oh, okay.
Yes, मुकेश छाबड़ा, he's the culprit. Mukesh ने मुझे, he calls me Didi, and he had come to me and said that, you know, there's this film. I know you're not very keen on doing mother roles, but do this film because it's a huge film. It was a dharma film.
Oh.
Yes. So he said, do this film, Didi. At least ये film जैसी आप करेंगी, the whole world will know you exist, because right now nobody even knows that you're around or you would like to work, right? And then, by God's grace, you're looking fine, you're fit, you don't look that old. So, you know, people would probably come up to you with different roles. And I said, अच्छा, ठीक है, कर लेती हूँ. So I said yes for that film. We shot for that film that was 60% complete, but then there was some issue, which I'm sure you guys know since you follow the entire Bollywood. You know, there was some huge issue between the star of the film and the producer of the film.
Oh, okay, okay.
And the film got shelved.
Acha.
So 60% फिल्म बनकर बंद हो गई. तो मैं कहा ठीक है, बंद हो गई तो बंद हो गई. उसके 6 महीने बाद is when, you know, मुकेश again contacted me. He said, अच्छा, मुझे पता है आप माँ के रोल नहीं करना चाहते हो, बट इसको आप मना नहीं कर सकते हो. I said, कौन है, क्या है? He said, हंसल मेहता की फिल्म है. I said, okay, इसको तो मिलना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
Right? So, I mean, I don't have a problem doing माँ के रोल. मेरे को आजकल इंटरव्यूज भी आते हैं ना, उसमें भी सबसे पहले, are you okay with mother role? Did you not have an objection with doing mother role? Hello, Nargis played Mother India. You get me Mother India, I'll do it today.
Yeah, yeah. And what a role that was, huh?
Exactly. So it depends on what role you are offering me. तुम मेरे को माँ बनाओ कि तुम मुझे दादी बनाओ, पर तुम मुझे क्या रोल दे रहे हो यार? डोंट मेक मी वन ऑफ दो स्टूपिड, यू नो, सैटिन में ड्रेस्ड मदर्स, डम पंजाबी हे लाफिंग कॉमेडी रोल्स. I don't want to do that. Come to me with that also. I'll tell you, because इतनी स्कैरसिटी है एक्टर्स की. मेरे को लिटरली आके लोग मुंह पर बोलते हैं कास्टिंग वाले, एक्चुअली यू नो आपके, वी डोंट हैव एनी यंग गुड लुकिंग मदर दीज डेज, बिकॉज सी whether it's a Madhuri ji or a Ravina or a Kajol, like Ravina, Kajol, Twinkle, मतलब मैं इन सबसे छोटी हूँ, but now all of them have been stars, correct? So I completely get it when these girls don't want to really do the typical mother roles. I mean, why should they? They still have their heroine aura around them. And I think they're living it up beautifully even today.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, for me, I really did not create any aura. Correct? So for me, I'm okay playing character roles very happily. But character roles में भी कुछ तो करने को हो ना. Up, don't come and give me stuff. I didn't do mediocre stuff then. When I was younger, I did not get swayed away. Why will I get swayed away today? I am open to great roles where I'm giving the opportunity to perform. There's something that I feel great about, that if I'm going out of the house, I'm leaving my child, I'm leaving my home, leaving my kitchen, for what? For something crappy or something that makes me feel good कि yes जूही, चाहे तुमने 6 सीन किए मगर अच्छे डायरेक्टर के साथ की एक अच्छी फिल्म में की है, और इन 6 के 6 सीन्स में तुम्हारे पास कुछ था करने के लिए.
जी. You know, I'm very curious to know actually, Juhi ma'am, because obviously आपने कहा कि आपने mediocre काम को नकारा था उस वक्त और आज भी आप नकारते हो, which करना भी चाहिए. But वो किस तरह के roles थे? What were the type of roles that were not making you feel? Were they just like plain flower pot
I'll
roles?
tell you why when my film flopped,
Yeah.
okay, and it was a Kash Aap Hamare Hote was no great film, but it was a nice, it was a sweet film, Anuj. It was, and I think I had performed fairly well. If today I have to critically see that role as some other girl, अगर मैं ऐसे सोचूं, तो मुझे लगता है मैंने एक्टिंग भी उसमें ठीक ठाक की थी, कोई बुरी नहीं की थी. मगर फिल्म की किस्मत थी कि फिल्म नहीं चली. अब हमारे इंडस्ट्री में क्या होता है, स्पेशली उस वक्त, now I'm talking of 2004 5,
Hmm.
ओके, तो वो 18-19 साल पहले ना काफी सिनेरियो अलग था, और हीरोइंस के रोल कुछ खास नहीं थे. तो मुझे किस तरह की फिल्में मिल रही थी फ्लॉप होने के बाद फिल्म में ना, आई मीन व्हाट हैपेंस इज व्हेन योर फिल्म फ्लॉप्स, हीरोइन को ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है एट दैट टाइम, बिकॉज जो पूरा फिल्म की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है वो हीरो की होती है.
जी.
तो अगर फिल्म फ्लॉप हो गई सो द हीरो इज गॉन बेचारा, हाँ, उसका मार्केट गया. बट दैट डजंट हैपन विद द हीरोइन, बिकॉज द हीरोइन इन दोज डेज, if it was not like a big hero heroine film, you were just given those 3 songs and 4 scenes, right?
Hmm.
And you mostly had these 3 hero films and all that. तो उस तरह का काम आ रहा था मेरे पास.
Oh.
तो ऑल्दो फिल्म फ्लॉप हुई थी, मेरे पास काम आ रहा था. मुझे ये 3 हीरो वाली फिल्में, तुम अगर उस वक्त you'll Google, yeah, you'll get it. 2004, 2005, if you see those films that came released in 2006 and all, no, you'll know it what I'm saying. There were these 3 hero films. There were these films which were with boys who were not doing very well in cinema at that time. 2-3 ऐसी भी आई थी. But then I said, I don't know. Was it the way I was brought up, whether it was my own values, पता नहीं क्या. Because इतनी तो मैं कोई बड़ी नहीं थी. I was 24, 25. तो कम से कम इतनी अकल थी उस वक्त
Hmm.
कि नहीं किया, you know.
हाँ.
Thank God for it, na. At least I don't have to go hiding any tapes from my son today.
Right. Do you think कि अगर देखा जाए, अगर एक a man who ages, who was a superstar, वो अभी भी college going या youngish characters play कर सकते हैं, but my goodness, as soon as अगर एक महिला होती है, एक महिला एक्ट्रेस, एक अभिनेत्री होती है, और जब वो एज करते हैं, तब उनको तुरंत ब्रैकेट किया जाता है एक माँ के रोल के अंदर या बड़ी बहन का रोल के अंदर. डू यू थिंक कि अभी भी हमारी जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री है वो अभी भी थोड़ी सी मिसोजिनिस्टिक है?
Why just film industry Hindi? ये बाहर भी है. It
हाँ.
is a male dominated, है
हाँ.
ना? Basically, entertainment is male dominated. And women were mostly in films for beauty and after a point, as a sex symbol. तो जिसको आप खूबसूरत और आप जिसको एक तरह से सेक्सी तरह से देख रहे हैं, उसकी शादी होते ही उसमें आपका इंटरेस्ट कम हो जाता है. तो वो आपको नहीं भाती है उतनी, आपको समझ लगता है इसका तो बच्चा हो गया है, ये तो शादीशुदा है, मतलब इसके बारे में क्या फैंटेसाइज करना, या ये कहाँ से अब सुंदर. इट्स वेरी सैड बट यही है शायद.
Yeah, and I think this is where I think actresses as well, like obviously Nargis ji you mentioned, even Hema ji, Zinat Aman as well, they've really defied that. Even Sridevi ma'am as well for that same reason, because they were in films on their own terms, even Rekha ji for that same matter. So I think that's where I think we have exceptions as well in our industry too.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can really say exceptions, because kiske liye it has been easy. The moment you're married or you have children, to come back and start working, it's been very difficult.
Hmm.
If as a man, as a hero, I get married today, there's going to be no difference to my box office. But as a heroine, if I get married today, my box office is affected. Today, maybe, but yet, आप देखिए, people want the younger girls. They want to see the younger girls.
Hmm.
I'm very happy that these girls still are getting good work because they are very good. I mean, Deepika, Anushka, all these girls who have got married are amazing. But this is again the last 10 years में हल्का सा ये change आया है.
Hmm.
अब 10 साल पहले भी थोड़ा जाइए. Very difficult. It was so difficult for a Kajol to come back or a Ravina to come back.
Hmm.
Firstly, तो भाई, to look a certain shape, and there's so much. I mean, body shaming तो मतलब हमारे यहाँ ऐसे करते हैं औरतों की, मतलब जैसे कि उनको पूरा हक है.
Ji, bilkul, bilkul. I'm really glad to see that women are sort of telling stories in a way that also is about women and taking center stage as well. And I think that's a great shift, right? That we're seeing
Oh,
in the
it's a great phase. I think the film industry is going through a great phase for for the ones who probably did not get the right opportunities. Whether it is women, whether it is, now you really don't have to be a typical chocolate boy to be a hero. You are valued if you're a good actor. Like today, if you see Aditya in Faraz,
Hmm.
you know he's playing a negative guy there. He's the antagonist. He's doing terrible things, but somehow he's so good that I don't want to hate him.
Yeah.
He's such a sincere performer that you're loving him for his sincerity. And there's so many boys out there. I mean, for example, a Rajkumar Rao. I mean, he was not that typical, like how, like an Amir, or how this, how Salman, that this is how
Stereotypical image of a Bollywood
hero
hero.
is supposed to look.
Yeah.
But these boys are doing well, and web series has really, really given a platform out there.
Hmm.
That there are roles for everybody, which is so good.
Hmm. Now, if your son grows up tomorrow and says, "Mama, mujhe bhi actor banna hai," what would be your advice to him? What would you say to him?
Okay, so if I want Iman, no, wait, if Iman wants to be an actor, then, and if I start, because I'm the mother, and I think I would sense it much before him even wanting to say it to me, I think I will have a conversation with him and say this to him that, well, Iman, if you want to be an actor, please don't think it's a cakewalk. And if you want to be an actor, you need to start preparing for it from now. Start watching good films. Start working on your body. Thankfully, तुम ऐसी फैमिली को बिलोंग करते हो कि तुम अच्छी जबान बोलते हो, अच्छी हिंदी बोलते हो. At least I will not have to put you in Hindi tuitions. The fraternity kids come to me before their Bollywood launches
Really?
to better their Hindi.
हाँ, एक्चुअली दिस इज वन थिंग मुझे काफी ताज्जुब होता है कि आप मतलब इंडिया में रहते हो, ऑफ कोर्स इंडिया में कई सारे भाषाएं हैं, पर आप मुंबई में काम कर रहे हो और आपको हिंदी या मराठी नहीं आती. मुझे काफी ताज्जुब होता है ये बात सुन के कभी
और
कभी.
अगर आपको पता है कि आपको कल को एक्टर बनना है,
जी.
ऐसी तो कुछ फैमिलीज हैं जिनको पता है कि हमारा जो अभी बच्चा पैदा हुआ है ना, अरे 20 साल बाद तो लॉन्च होने वाला है. दे नो इट. और उस बच्चे के भी दिमाग में ना, उसको वो ट्रेनिंग दी जा रही है बचपन से, पोज करने की, हीरो हो तुम ये हो, तुम ये हो, तो साथ में भाषा भी बता देते थोड़ी सी. Why do you treat the kid as to the kid is being brought up in New York, and then suddenly he has to act in Hindi films?
एग्जैक्टली.
It's not suddenly. You always wanted him to act in Hindi films, and he always wanted to act in Hindi films. Then why doesn't he speak Hindi? Why doesn't he think in Hindi? Because when you don't think in Hindi, when you will speak Hindi, you will always have the wrong pauses. You will always have the wrong stresses, because then that's not the language in which you think.
जी. जी. Absolutely. No, I agree with you. I think it's very important. And I think that's a very important aspect because जब आप एक किरदार प्ले कर रहे हो जो इंडिया में बेस्ड है, तो जो न्यूयॉर्क जिसने न्यूयॉर्क में स्टडी किया या लंदन में स्टडी किया, वहां पर रहा, उतना आसानी नहीं होता है उनके लिए प्ले करना क्योंकि वो एक्सपोजर बहुत जरूरी होता है. Right, as an actor, you need to have that exposure. And I think that's very, very true. But I think on a parting note, actually, there's two questions that I want to ask you, actually, Juhi. So, number one is the fact that obviously, I mean, Nadira ma'am and Rajsa have had a rich legacy, I think, of acting, and I've often loved how earthy their characters. I mean, your mom, especially. I mean, for me, one of my earliest memories of her is probably Bride and Prejudice, as a really loud, flamboyant Punjabi mother, which I thought was hilarious. But even I think if you look at your dad's roles as well, not just in Hindi but in Punjabi, I mean, Chand Pardesi is such a classic. Um, so, when you look up at that legacy and you look up at that work, what inspires you about their crafts? And do you kind of feel tempted to maybe explore the non-Hindi bracket as well?
So my mom has done very, very few films, very few. She's always been extremely dedicated only to her theater. And that's Bride and Prejudice, Gurinder Chadda's film. And she did a film for Hussain Saab, MF Hussain Saab,
Mhm, mhm.
Meenakshi, The Tale of Two Cities. उसके अलावा मम्मी ने फिल्में नहीं की हैं. Though she's enjoyed. Yeah, she did Salman's Jai Ho.
Jai Ho, yeah,
Yeah.
small role in that one, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, uh, but yes, whether it's watching my mother on screen or stage, see, I belong to Nadra Babbar School of Acting.
You look like
If
her also, by the way, I must tell you.
if you have to see my mom on stage and then you have to see me today on stage, I know that I have a lot of her in me. I know I sound like her also a lot. So there's a lot of my mother in me, a lot. That being said, I admire my dad a lot, where his choice of films has been. I again feel my father is one of the most underrated actors and somebody who probably did not get his due because of a lot of reasons. But he is somebody who has excelled as the hero, as the negative guy, as the character actor, as the side hero. He has played each role with such conviction. Whether he is in Saf Ka Tarazu, if
Oh my
he's
God.
playing the negative there,
Oh God, he
or he's
freaked me out in
playing,
that. Oh,
or he's playing the die hard in Prem Geet and singing Honton Se Chulo Tum,
yeah.
or he's playing that brother of Ghayal, of Sunny Deol's brother, yeah, or he's playing this lecherous villain in Dalal. I mean, he has done it all. And when you talk about his Punjabi cinema, Anuj, my father has never charged a penny for a Punjabi film.
Wow.
That's his dedication for his mother language and his motherland.
Wow.
Uh, I wish I unfortunately don't speak very good Punjabi. क्योंकि हमने बॉम्बे में बोली ही बहुत कम. हमने घर में हम हिंदी obviously because मेरी मम्मी की जबान का ज्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस था. तो
जी.
हम हिंदुस्तानी और उर्दू इन्फ्लुएंस्ड हिंदी हमने ज्यादा बोली है.
Mm-hmm.
But I did always try and chat with my grandparents, paternal side, my dadi dada, or my buas. So I have a hang of it, but I don't speak very good. My vocabulary is not very good in Punjabi. But of course, मैं रट के बोल के अगर उस माहौल में होती हूँ मैं बोल लेती हूँ. You know, I would love to do Punjabi films. And gosh, you just said Chand Pardesi. कोई मुझे रमा विजवारा रोल दे दो.
Well,
कोई चंद परदेसी फिर से बना लो और मुझे वो रोल दे दो, please.
well, we've manifested it here, and if that happens, I think everyone we would have heard this exclusive here first.
Now, see, that's a mother's role, but what a role.
Yeah, true. True. It was incredible. No, I absolutely agree with you on that one as well. But so my last part of the question, I think also is a little bit of a cliched one, but I think also very important nonetheless to ask. फराज के बाद कैसे कैसे स्क्रिप्ट्स आपको मिल रहे हैं और क्या आपने एक प्रोजेक्ट को साइन किया है जो हम बेसब्री से इंतजार कर सके आपके लिए?
मैं बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रही हूँ अच्छे स्क्रिप्ट का. अनफॉर्चुनेटली मेरे पास अभी तक कुछ अच्छा नहीं आया है. There have been offers, but again, on the basis of my Instagram, what I look like, not on the basis of my talent. So I was, unfortunately, when Faraaz released in India, it was extremely shy release just for a week and hardly anybody watched it. So now when people, this is the real release, and I really think that now probably is when people will watch and realize, and I do see people realizing that I exist and I'm around and I should be considered. I mean, I have random audience. I mean, if you just go on Twitter right now, it's random people जिनका मेरे से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, जो इतनी बड़ी फिल्म में इतने से ट्वीट में जो आपके पास सिर्फ उतने ही स्पेस होती है लिखने की, उसमें दे आर मेकिंग अ पॉइंट टू मेंशन मी. I think I'm extremely grateful to them, and I really hope that this can work in my favor and I get some good work. Although I have done a really nice web series which should be on a platform, I am hoping in the next 2-3 months. It's a ensemble cast.
Wow.
But I have a very good role in it, and it definitely was a challenging role for me, literally challenging, because I have never really done the role is of somebody who's very underconfident and anxiety, and I've really never played somebody like that. So I was like, yes, this is interesting. There's something to do.
Yeah.
There's something more to explore. So it's going to be a role completely different from what you've seen me in Faraz.
Wow.
So that'll be interesting, for the audience also to watch.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, look, after
Plus, I'm really hoping for good roles to come my way. And yes, let's manifest it, as they say.
no, definitely. And I think after watching Faraz, we just look at your performance, we were just like saying, she deserves better, she deserves more. So hopefully that better and more will definitely be coming your way very soon. And thankfully, hopefully we'll also get to enjoy watching you on screen. But
Thank
ma'am,
you.
thank you
Anil.
so much for
Thank you. That's
taking the
so
time.
kind of you. You have been following up since November, and I'm so thankful to you that you made this happen today. Thank you.
Had to make it happen. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking the time out. It was lovely to have you. Thank you.